My favorite productivity hacks. Now, this is a question I get asked a lot. People want to know, what's your morning routine? Like, I just felt more motivated even saying that, right? This is what works for me. So if you want to know what works for me so you can try it and see if it works for you, you're in luck, because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach. Say that 3 times fast, right? It's kind of a tongue twister, but I am all those things, and I'm a busy wife and mom. As I always say, I wear all the hats and do all the things, which is why this video is so fitting, because I'm gonna talk about my favorite productivity hacks, right? How I am able to go after so much, go after so many goals, and actually make progress on it and actually get things done. Now, this is a question I get asked a lot. People want to know, what's your morning routine? I talk about that in one of my podcasts not too long ago. I think a podcast I did a few months ago where I talked about an early morning experiment that I was trying. I am still sticking with it, by the way, if you saw that podcast episode, and if you didn't, you're gonna have to watch it to see what time I'm getting up at, right? Because I don't want to scare you. But I'll talk a bit about that in this video. But yeah, what is your morning routine, Courtney? How do you outsource so well? How do you find people on your team, both in your business and at home? All these different questions, right? And while all of those things are important, and I've either made videos about them or I plan to do videos about them in the future, I wanted to talk about like my personal practices, right? It's one thing to say, well, you can be productive if you get this person to help you. You'll be more productive if you have a housekeeper, right? Or you'll be more productive if you have an executive assistant, or you'll be more productive if whatever, all these external things. But at the end of the day, you'll be more productive if you yourself can make sure that you are focused and really going after your goals, right? That's a self-mastery thing that you need to do in conjunction with getting outside support. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk about how you can really master yourself and get in the frame of mind that you're gonna get stuff done, that you're gonna be really productive. And so if you wanna know my productivity hacks, different things that I have experimented with and what really works for me, and I've been doing this for a long time, right? I've been in personal development since high school, but since my early college days. I've been coaching for a really long time now, full-time since 2016, but online since like 2014. So almost a decade, which is kind of insane. This is what works for me. So if you want to know what works for me so you can try it and see if it works for you, you're in luck, because we're gonna get into it right now. All right, how do I stay focused and how do I achieve my goals, right? Well, the first thing that I do is I keep my goals in front of me at all times. Like, seriously, you should see my laptop, right? Actually, as I'm recording this, I have my laptop down in front of me with my notes, and I have all of these crazy notes. I use an app called Notion that I really like for like my personal notes and keeping my goal setting. Shout out, there's an amazing man that you should follow if you're like into Notion and all that productivity. This man's name is August Bradley. He does not know that I am gonna shout him out. I do not have a formal sponsorship with him, nothing like that, but his videos are hugely helpful if you want to learn how to set up systems in the application known as Notion that really help you run your life. There was a particular system that he had given away like in a free giveaway a long time ago that I signed up for, and I'm still using that system to this day. And it really helps me keep my goals in front of me. So I highly recommend his YouTube channel, August Bradley. But whatever you do, I mean, yes, I use his Notion system to keep my goals in front of me, but I also have a digital sticky note. So on MacBooks, they have this app called Stickies where it looks like virtual stickies. And I keep one on my desktop that has my goals for the month. So I know my dreams, like the broad things that I'm trying to accomplish. I know the goals that I'm currently actively working towards. And then I know my goals for the month, the projects that I'm working on, like I break it down. In fact, I have a video called How to Set Goals Like a Millionaire, which you can check out here, that I highly recommend, that walks you through that process of taking your big dreams and breaking them down into like actionable daily items. But really the gist of that video is that whatever you do, you have to know which goal it's like tied to or which goal it's associated with. So it's one thing to say, clean the toilet, right? Which might be an actual to do on your list, but it's another thing to say, clean the toilet in your brand new rental property because your tenant is coming tomorrow, and this rental property, if you can get it to cash flow X amount of dollars over the course of X amount of years, is going to help you save enough to pay for your kids' education and build generational wealth. Like, I just felt more motivated even saying that, right? And that's actually something that happened to me. In fact, as I'm recording this, I am in my Airbnb. I have a short-term rental property that, we rent out. And when we first renovated this property, and I had an Airbnb listing that was wanted to come the next day, right? So I thought I had more time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it together over the weekend and blah, blah, blah. We put it up on Airbnb just to see what happens. And literally the next day, someone reached out to me and they were like, I need to move in, and I need to move in early tomorrow morning. And I was like, what? So I hadn't even had time to get my housekeeper together to finish. I mean, the place was clean because we had just renovated it, but there was little stuff that needed to be done. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's not gonna get here in time. So my husband got off work early, drove to our property, and with me over till 9 o'clock that night, we scrubbed this place from top to bottom. And yes, I even cleaned the toilets to get it ready for that guest. And I was really excited to do it. It was one of the happiest memories that I have. I know that sounds crazy. Cleaning toilets is one of the happiest memories that you have. But I felt so grateful as I was cleaning the toilet, because I knew that I wasn't just cleaning the toilet, but I was really living in my dream of, being a real estate investor and creating generational wealth for my family. And cleaning that toilet was just a small piece of me getting this place ready in order to, rent it out, which ultimately trickles down to all these big, amazing goals that I have. So that's what I'm saying. Oftentimes we're not productive because we don't know why what we're doing matters, right? We don't know what it actually is connected to, and it doesn't create any emotional resonance in us. And so again, check out that video about how to set goals like a millionaire. But if you can keep your goals in front of you at all times so that you know why you're doing whatever you're doing, even if it's something simple like take the trash out or whatever, if you can tie it to something bigger and grander and that is ultimately connected to what your big goals are, you'll find that you'll be that much more motivated to do it. All right, the next thing that you'll want to do if you want to stay productive and focused and actually achieve your goals is you'll want to honor your circadian rhythm. And by that, I mean, that's a fancy way to say, are you a morning person or are you a night person, right? I am a morning person. I joke all the time that I'm an old lady. I like to go to bed at 9 p.m. Yes, there are times when I stay up late, if I'm on vacation, if I'm going on a date with my husband, it's fine. I can adjust my schedule as needed. But if it's up to me and I'm really focused for the week and I'm trying to be productive, I would rather get up at 3 a.m. and go to bed at 9 than get up at 8 and stay up until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Even though physically I can stay up, I find that I'm not as creative. My mind is just over it, right? It's just the end of the day and I'm I don't want to do any work. I just don't feel like staying up, where I know other people are not morning people at all, right? In fact, I would say my husband and I are opposites, where he's most creative at night and all of his amazing ideas start really, going off after 9 p.m., right? So I don't think there's any you're a bad person if you don't get up early in the morning. I think it really depends on whether or not you're a morning person or you're a night person. But regardless of whatever kind of person you are, I would say honor that circadian rhythm, because that is going to help you be productive, and honor it regardless of what anybody thinks about you, right? Like I mentioned, one of the other podcast episodes where I talked about an early morning routine that I was experimenting with, I said at the top of that episode that I knew people were gonna think that I was crazy because I was experimenting with getting up at a very, very early time. But I knew that it was something that I could do because I'm already kind of a morning person and I do enjoy getting up extremely early. So I don't recommend that people be like me and get up super early. Again, I think it depends on your schedule. It depends on what kind of person you are, but you do want to have a level of self-awareness about that. And whatever it is, do order your life around it, right? So usually Monday through Thursday, I am going to bed at 8:30 or 9 because I do like to get up crazy early in the morning. I give myself some leeway Friday, and then on the weekends, I'm not really working. So, I can stay up later and get up later, but I reorient my life to support me getting up super early in the morning, even if it means that Monday through Thursday, I'm not watching TV shows that other people are watching, or I'm not doing other things that other people are doing. So, it's a small sacrifice, but it does make you more productive. And so if your goals are that important to you and you really want to achieve this stuff, really, really honor your circadian rhythm. Okay, my next hack, and I talk about this all the time, is I make sure that I work in a very inspiring environment, right? And I know I already hear it, easy for you, you work from home, you work for yourself. What if I work for the man, right? And I'm just in a cubicle, it's not that inspiring. How do I stay productive? again, you still have control over that, right? You can make your cubicle the most inspiring cubicle ever. Maybe you put a little bonsai tree in there and a little, fake babbling brook or something, like whatever makes you feel like super in the zone. You want to make sure that any environment that you are regularly doing work in, that it makes you feel inspired, right? So my home office I love it. Like, it's decorated the way that I like. I have all my books there. I have my flowers. I always have some exotic candle burning. I'm playing my music. Like, I'm in the zone. I'm in the vibe. I make my environment, feel that way. But oftentimes, even when I'm at home and I'm in my home office and it looks beautiful, sometimes the kids are really loud or my daughter is screaming. I do have a nanny, but sometimes it's just like too much. And while visually my environment looks good, sonically it doesn't sound good, right? Because there's like kids running around and screaming. So sometimes I will then pick up and either go to a really nice coffee shop in my neighborhood that again gets me in the zone, makes me feel good. Or sometimes I will go to a co-working space. So I do have a co-working space subscription, even though I have a home office. I know people are like, well, why would you get a co-working subscription if you have a home office? Because sometimes your girl just needs to change the scenery, right? Sometimes I'll just pick up and work out of a restaurant in a different area of the city just because I like the vibe, right? So I'm a big vibe person. I like aesthetics. I like scenery. I like music. I like the way things make me feel, because I find I can be more productive if I'm in an environment that really matches my mood and really matches my zone. So to the best of your ability, even if it just means bringing a candle to work and lighting it in your office, or taking some time on your lunch break, maybe to work somewhere else, right? When I was first working on my business and I was working full time, I would bring my personal laptop with me to work. And then on my lunch break, I would walk a few blocks, because I worked in downtown Dallas at the time. I would walk a few blocks to a really amazing hotel, and I would fire up my personal laptop, and for 45 minutes I would work in the lobby of that hotel, really just taking in the zone and the energy and the vibe of the space to inspire me to go hard on my business. And then when my 45 minutes were up, I'd pack up my laptop, walk the 15 minutes back to my office, and that was my hour lunch break, and then I was, back in my office. So whatever you gotta do, no excuses, make sure you're working in an inspiring environment. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I wanna hear from you. What's one of your productivity hacks? Share in the comments below. All right, this next one is tried and true, and this is a hack that I used in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, got away from, and then recently have found myself going back to it because it's just so darn effective, and that is having an accountability partner. Yes, I don't know what it is, but when you tell someone what it is that you're gonna do and they hold you to it, right? You will get more done, like tried and true. So again, when I was working full time, I had an accountability partner that, I would meet up with her maybe every 2 weeks or once a month, and we had to go over, did you do the things that you said that you were gonna do? And that really helped me make progress in my business. Now, I have a team and, working on things, and I thought that I was beyond that. I don't need an accountability partner. But I found that there are some days that aren't as productive as others, and I really need that accountability partner again. So I've actually been experimenting with a lot of virtual co-working services. So I won't name any because I don't want to give an undue name drop as I'm still experimenting. So, I don't want to endorse anything as I am still trying it out myself. But I'm currently signed up for not one, not two, but 3 different virtual co-working services, just to see which one that I like the best. So once I find one, then, I might mention it on this channel. But I do know that I really love the process of virtual co-working. So how it works is it's essentially a service. They're pretty low cost. Some are even cheap, where basically you sign up to be on a Zoom with strangers, right? So it's people who don't even know you. You sign up, you have to have your camera on, and there's usually one person who manages the room. And you have 5 minutes where you have to, in the chat, or maybe you say it on camera, you say what it is that you're working on or what your intention for the session is. And then the person who's moderating the room will do some sort of hand clap or ring a gong or something. That's okay, work is in session. And then for about 55 minutes or 50 minutes, you just work. And you don't have to look at the screen. You can minimize the screen, but you got to keep your camera on so that, again, you are accountable and people can see if you're working or not. You just do your work. And then when you're done at the end of the session, the person who's managing the room will then come on and then give everybody an opportunity to share if they made progress and if they got their work done. And then that's it. And if you want to join another session, you can do it. So like I said, there's a lot of companies, software that does this. It's called virtual co-working, accountability co-working. I find it really helpful. My husband thinks it's ridiculous. You're paying money to get on Zooms with strangers with your camera on who can watch you work. That's kind of weird, but I'm like, it works, babe, it works. Cause it really does. I don't know, I'm like slightly competitive. So I think it's just like getting in a room where no one knows me and then saying that I'm gonna do something, it just gives me that competitive push to be like, don't you get in front of these people saying you're gonna do this and don't do it, right? Do it, right? So regardless of whether you wanna do that, which is kind of extreme, or maybe just have a friend hold you accountable once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever, having an accountability partner is really, really a great hack for getting your biggest goals done. All right, my next hack is something that I think is slightly controversial, but I found that it really works. And this is actually what I call pursuing balanced busyness. Now here's what I mean by this. I think we all know that being too busy is not a good thing, right? We have too many things on our plate. It reduces our productivity. We're stressed out. We're dropping the ball. That's not good. But I think sometimes people swing to the other end and they're like, I need nothing on my plate. I'm only gonna work on one thing a day. Like I want my schedule totally free and totally clear. I don't want anything going on because then I'll be really, really productive. And I find that that actually makes you less productive. It's kind of like, have you ever gone to a restaurant and it's like really empty and you notice that you get like the worst service? Is it just me? I notice I get the worst service at restaurants when they're not busy. When they're busy, the server is on it. Like they're checking your table, they're checking the other tables. Do you need anything? They're dropping checks on time. Like everything is humming and everything is going right. But when it's like super slow and you're like the only table in there, people are like chit-chatting, they're going to the back, they're having a smoke break, like they completely forget about you. And you actually get worse service when it's not busy than you do when it is busy. Well, I find that we are the same way when it comes to productivity, which means you wanna find that sweet spot, right? That balanced busyness. You don't wanna be so busy that you have no time for anything and it's like stressing you out, but you don't wanna have your schedule so clear and you're like, oh great, I have all the time in the world to get this done, that you end up goofing off, right? I find balanced busyness is good because it's kind of like the last step in that it's built-in accountability. You know that there are real consequences if you don't get something done. So I notice that when I am busy, but in a good way, right? When I'm balanced busy, I'm more likely to do what I gotta do when I know I need to do it, because I know that if I don't do it, then there's not gonna be another opportunity for me to do it, right? Perfect example is this very video. So many of you know, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, that I batch record my content, right? So I will shoot, usually 12 videos in a day, or sometimes I'll do 6 videos on one day, 6 videos in another day, or whatever. I shoot a lot of videos. Well, I'm actually going out of town as I'm recording this. I'm going out of town this weekend, and today and tomorrow are the only days I have this week where I can record my content. Well, guess what? This content is getting recorded, okay? I'm on time. I'm, hitting my time marks. I'm getting the amount of videos done. Like I am being productive right now. Like this is actually the last video that I have to record in this batch, and stuff is getting done. Why is it getting done? Because I know that I have to get it done right now, otherwise it's not going to get done. Now, if I had all the time in the world, I didn't really have anything else to do, I had nothing going on this weekend, I was gonna be in town, yes, I would be tempted to kind of slack. Oh, there's a lot of videos to record in one day. Maybe I'll just do half of them and I'll do the rest at another day, and then it's never gonna get done, right? So again, you wanna have that sweet spot where you're not so busy that it stresses you out, but you're just busy enough that you stick to what you say you're gonna do, because you know that if you don't do it, there are real consequences for not getting it done, because you're not gonna have another opportunity to do it. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you love this and being productive is your jam, you're really gonna love my brand new program, which is called No Excuses Woman. And it's actually a new old program, right? So full disclosure, No Excuses Woman was my flagship self-discipline program that really put me on the map as a life coach back in 2015. And so now that I have since grown my business and learned so much more about productivity and goal setting, I have revamped that program and it is newly available. And so if you want access to the new version of No Excuses Woman, which lays out my full goal setting and productivity process, you are gonna love this. It's everything that I could teach you about how to be self-disciplined. You can check that out by clicking the link below. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.